to this day, it's still available. Like, I don't know where you can get it at, but it's still available out there. And I remember I put it all in a book, and it looks crazy because I was so adamant about having everything look exactly the same as I wrote it on my paper. So when I had the editor type it, it was a whole bunch of typos and everything. And she was like, we have to correct some of these things because people ain't going to understand. I was like, no, I want to keep it just like that. I wanted to transcribe what I had in what I was writing down on that paper. I wanted people to feel what I was writing, not only auditory wise, but also I wanted them visually to see where I was at with this. Why is that important in my story? Because that is the turning point when I knew I had to become an entrepreneur. I knew I had to do it. I couldn't be at that job no more after that girl told me that stuff. Like, whether she did it, I can't blame it on that. It was a bunch of other stuff too, right? So, but it told me, like, look, bro, you got to do this on your own. I had been through this type of act at a different job where I was I had been promoted for years up to the top and everything, only to find out when you get to the top, these people just a different slick type of people you had to deal with at the bottom. Been through some stuff, man. So I'm at this job. I'm at this job. I'm doing artwork still. I started doing stand-up poetry because I used to rap. That's a whole different story. But I started doing spoken word poetry, man. So doing spoken word poetry, I was like a lot of my clients are, right? I had a good product, but my marketing sucked because I was trying to do my own flyers and I sucked. I thought I was good. I thought, man, this is good. Why couldn't nobody? This is just as good as the homeboys over there. I mean, it ain't as good as that one. That'd be the dope flyer. But it's pretty. Man, I look back on. No wonder nobody hardly came to that. And you know what? Shout out to Ladero Blackwell, LB Magnanimous. Shout out to him because he put up with me too, bro. He didn't even tell me how bad my stuff sucked. And he rocked there right beside me, bro. When nobody else, nobody else would have rocked with me. And he was rocking with me, and we had Thursday Night Live right there in Raleigh, where the end zone used to be. Damn, that's right. Damn. But anyway, that was after I left that job. So that was really when I was like, look, I have to. I can't go back to this system. And I read that book. I was reading Miseducation of the Negro from Babylon to Timbuktu. I was meditating. You know what I'm saying? I was getting to consciousness, the conscious movement, and they was all about self-sufficiency and why you have to, be able to own your own business, black owned, and all that stuff. And that was the greatest thing I had ever heard in my life. I was like, why not? Why not control my own destiny? Why keep complaining about the things that I'm seeing and going through? It's not going to change. So I had to change myself. And that was a pivotal point in my life. When I decided to look at everything at face value, that changed my life.